All right, it's the 10th of February. It's a Monday. We've got about 30 minutes to the NY Open. We're going to get to the charts in a second. Just check. Sound is good. Yeah, yeah, all good. All right. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the calendar first, right? So, no news today. Um, no news tomorrow either. And on Wednesday is the big one, CPI, right? And then Thursday, PPI, fairly big. On Friday, retail sales also fairly big, right? But the big one this week is CPI, and that's on Wednesday, just like NFP. That's a big one, right? Uh, and then Thursday and Friday also should have decent volume. Now it all depends on how the daily candle closes over the next couple of days, like today and tomorrow. Depends on the average daily range of the daily candle, right? I think today we've already crossed 500 pips, which is good sign. It's a very good sign. Okay. All right, let's go to our charts. Um, on the daily, we have crossed above 2882 and we've reached to 900. Now, this is a new level. These two are new levels. The if you were here on Friday or any other stream that you were in, you would have only seen weekly SR levels up to 2787. There was nothing above that. But now we have another two new levels. Now these are not yet confirmed because we still haven't had proper daily structure at these levels. Okay, so they may change by a couple of dollars, $2, $3, maybe even up to $5. When I mean a dollar is a 10 pip move on gold. Okay, so it might change anywhere between a dollar to $5, right? These price levels. But for now, we have them at 2834. I have them at 2834 and 2882, right? So they're basically about 460, 470 pips apart. Very similar to these these kind of these are also about 400 pips apart. Some are less. That's about 460. That's very similar. So it's kind of in a similar area. But as I said, they're not. Uh, they're temporary, right? They're not permanent SR levels like weekly SR levels like the ones that I have all the way starting at 2293, right? These were drawn, I think they were drawn early 2024, probably Jan Feb 2024, and they remain on the chart. They remain on the chart for months, if not years. Okay, they're weekly SR levels, and price reacts to them very well, right? So again, 2834, 2882 are temporary. They might change a bit depending on daily candle structure. Once I have proper structure, once I see proper daily time frame or weekly time frame structure at these levels, and set them, then they're permanent, right? Then they're going to be there for the next several months or longer. Okay, right. So on the daily, on the weekly, basically we have closed above 2850. That's important to note. On the weekly time frame, we have a strong weekly bullish candle, close above 2850. Now, to do that, to close above 2850, that weekly candle grab liquidity from here, right, from 2787, right? That was the big move last week. It was about 1,000, just about 1,100 pip move up. That weekly candle, it grabbed liquidity from 2787. Now this 2787 has been on my chart for months, right? It grabbed liquidity from that level and pushed all the way up, and we closed about 2850. Right now, we spoke about this last week and the week before last, that price is very likely heading to 3,000, right? Very likely. There is no certainty that will happen, but it's very likely. And watch any of last week's streams, either probably Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I spoke about what happened in 2018, January 2017. around 2017, end of 2017, and yeah, last week of 2017, and then 2018 January, how price moved, how gold moved high in anticipation of the tariffs, set on China, and the trade war continued for a couple of years, I think almost 2 years, until things kind of settled down a bit, but the tariffs, I believe, are still in place. So now we're having a similar situation with Canada and other South American countries. Okay, so it could be a similar situation where price gold just rallies. Okay, for a while. So watch any one of those streams Monday, Tuesday. I think would be better. Watch the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I do explain that. Okay, so let's go down to the daily. We have more information on the daily. On the daily, we've created support here, right? So there was a bearish candle, and we created daily support with this candle, and we've pushed past the high of that candle, and we've touched 2900. Now we've already made about 525 pips today, so that's a fairly healthy amount of volume coming in today in the Asian and London. We're going to take a look at on the lower time frames when exactly that volume came in. Okay, let's go to our trading chart. Um, before we start our zones, before we go to the 4-hour time frame and start our zones, I always do a recap of the trade I took or the setups that I gave of the previous day, and the previous day was Friday. And let's take a quick look at that and see how it played out, right? So the trade that I was in was after NFP. I took buys when price tapped the liquidity candle, which is here, right here. This was the liquid. There's a, I think a 30-minute candle. There is it? No, it's I think a 5-minute candle. Yeah, that 5-minute candle right there, right? That was a liquidity candle. Price tapped it to the pip perfectly, and I did take buys, and price ran all the way up. I got out at 2878. I said price is going to go through the liquidity candle, and it did. And beyond that, there was nothing to push price further up, and I got out there, right? Just above, I took some at 2787, and then few, I think, a little higher. And now, I also gave a couple of trade ideas, a buy idea, a buy setup idea, and a sell setup idea. The sell setup idea played out, the buy didn't, but I'll explain. I gave them in detail of what would happen, what to look for in terms of the 30-minute time frame or the 50-minute time frame, what to look for, how to trade it, right? So if you watch the last 7 to 8 minutes of Friday's stream, the setups were very clear. What I explained, where the stop loss should be, where the TP should be, everything. Okay, so let's just go over what I said. So I said basically for buys, I said wait for the 4-hour candle to close, which is this candle to close. So this candle opens, so basically 1700 hours IC market server time when this candle opened, and wait for price to pull back, right? So yeah, this one right here, wait for price to pull back, and if it pulls back, then either wait for M15 support to form or M30 support to form and take the buys to go retest this high, right, that we've created. It didn't pull back. We created the candle open and we continued higher. So it didn't pull back. So there was no pullback, so that means there is no trade, right? Then I said for sells, I said sells are very tricky, but if you are waiting for sells, wait for a candle to close above this zone, either above the M30 candle to close above the liquidity candle, this one right here, this liquidity candle. Let me highlight that. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, so just above, there's I think a 1-minute liquidity candle right here. Wait for a candle to close either above the liquidity candle or above the zone, right? Above the zone, a 30-minute candle to close, and then for a candle to close back in, for a 30-minute candle to close back inside the zone, right? Now, retail traders call that a fake out. It's basically a lack of liquidity for price to head higher. There is no liquidity. There's not enough liquidity, right? No, there's no liquidity. There isn't enough liquidity for price to head to the next area of interest, which is 2900, the next liquidity level, right? I call them liquidity levels, right? You can call them whatever you like. Some people call it an area of interest. I call it a liquidity level, right? To get there, there was not enough volume for price to get there. When there is not enough volume, what does price do? It goes the other way to grab liquidity before it heads high, right? So I said wait for a 30-minute candle close above the zone, above the candle, above the light red area or above the dark red area, and then wait for an immediate 30-minute candle to close back inside the zone, right? Once it closes inside the zone, that's your confirmation that price is heading down because there was not enough liquidity to head higher. And I've traded this setup many times over the last several months on the stream. It's a very clear setup to trade, right? So wait for the pullback on the 30-minute time frame or on the 15-minute time frame, right? You can. So that's the 30-minute candle that closed above the zone, all right? Above the candle, above the liquidity candle, and also above the zone. This is a 30-minute candle, and this is the next one that closed back inside the zone on the 30-minute time frame. We formed resistance. You can go to the 15-minute time frame, and then anywhere inside this candle, you can sell. Stop loss would be above the 30-minute candle that created resistance, the high there, right? So maybe around 50 pip or 55 pip stop loss. And then where are the TPs I said? Back to the liquidity candle area, right? Back to where there is liquidity. And that's exactly where price came to, back to that area right there, right? So that was a very nice move. It dropped in the same day, 230 pips, around 230 pips up, and then another 230 pips down, okay? So that trade idea, the sells worked perfectly. But I didn't take that. I took only the buys. I got out here and I was done for the day. So the ideas that I give at the end of the stream, and I'll try to do that today as well, that I give in the last 10 minutes of the stream, if I see a setup, I give out a setup. If I see a clear setup, right? If I see a setup that might form, the setup is not there on this chart yet, but according to what's happening, according to the amount of volume there is, according to where price currently is at the time we're in the stream, if I see a possible setup, if I feel that there might be a possible setup for the next 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours of the NY session, then I'll give that setup. And I do that almost every day. I give a setup out every day. You can go back, watch any of the streams, and you'll see that the last 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes is when I give out trade ideas, right? Either a buy or a sell, or a buy and a sell, right? And it's a very clear setup. It's what to look for, not just randomly buy with a 150 pip stop loss and a 15 pip, take a TP level. It's what a candle to exactly look for, what to wait for, where to enter, where the TP should be, and where your stop loss should be. It's a full, complete trade idea, right? And the trade idea is not it's not a negative RR trade idea, and neither is it a 1 RR trade idea. It's a low risk, high reward, high probability trade setup. Okay, let's get rid of all of this, and let's start drawing our zones again for today. Okay. I'm going to move all of this to the right. Okay, perfect. Right. Chart is clear, right? Chart is clear to about 550 pip area. The chart is clear. Let's start. Let's get to work. Okay, so in terms of demand, there is no 4-hour supply, obviously. There is nothing priced at all-time highs, and we don't have a 4-hour bearish candle. So there is no supply, at least on the 4-hour time frame, there is none, right? But we're going to look at this 2900 area. Just give me a second. Okay. So there is a drop-based rally here, but all of these candles are in a range, right? They're inside a range. All of these candles, they're boxed between these two candles, this one and this one, right? Is that clear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a range. So I'm going to consider that as my level. Okay, for our zone. That's about a 239, but it's a fairly wide zone. Okay. Let's put the numbers on that for now. 7618, 252. Okay. Okay. Right. So that's the closest on the 4-hour, that's the closest demand level that we have, right? Let's go to the 1-hour. Just see what we have because we're at all-time highs and because price is trending, uh, prices moved a lot today with a lot of volume. And I've said this many times before. When uh, price is trending heavily in a single direction with a lot of volume, there isn't enough time for price to create 4-hour support or resistance levels, right? Because we're making higher highs and higher lows if we're going up, and if we're going down, we're making lower lows and lower highs. And you'll not see support or resistance on the 4 hours created because price is trending very hard. So that's why you'll have to go down to the 1 hour time frame or a lower time frame to find those zones. Now, here we did this on Friday as well, where we did have to go down to the 1 hour time frame, right? So here, oops, what's going on today? Okay, that's a 1 hour demand zone, a rally based rally, right? We're going to take a look at this area even further on the 30 minutes. Then we have a 1 hour zone here as well. Yeah, okay, and the rest is good. So this one open is 929, 610, 929, 0. Okay, 610. Okay, that's better, so that they don't overlap each other. Yeah, okay. Uh, we'll adjust this as well because price has already come deep into this zone here. We had a supply, we had a demand zone right here, a rally based rally, and price has not come deep, but it has touched it. So I don't want to, I hate overlapping zones. So I'm going to bring that down, 252, 2.32. So we don't overlap the zones don't overlap. There we go, perfect. Okay, and we've just tapped a pip into that zone on Friday. So I'm going to just extend that liquidity candle to the right. Perfect. That's a 4-hour zone. Okay, I'll mark that, keep that label there. That is also a high liquidity zone. We've tapped only a pip into it, so that's fine. Okay, on the 1 hour, just save this very quickly. Okay, so we have on the 1 hour, we're going to take a look at this area because whenever I've said this many times, when we have a break at a liquidity area, a candle close, and we've grabbed liquidity, we've paused here, we have to inspect that area on the lower time frame. Okay, so we do have some sort of a zone there. Got to mark that out. Now, usually you don't have to do this. Again, the only reason this is happening is because price is trending hard and we're at all-time highs, right? It's a lot of volume, means we're trending hard, that they mean the same thing, and we're at all-time high. So there is no structure to the left for price to pause at or react to. It's just a clean space to the left. You can call it clean space. There's clean space to the left. Price is just moving from one BRN to another, right? That's all price is doing, from 2850 to 900. Now the next area is 2950. That's all we have on the chart. To the left, above current price to the left, there is nothing except for 2950. Okay, so there is this 30-minute demand level. I hate marking lower time frame demand levels, but we have to because of why because of the reasons that I mentioned, right? So 299, and this low is 824. 299824. Okay, perfect. Now let's mark that. That's a M30 demand and a H1 demand zone. Okay, right. Is there supply? There is none. We're just bullish, right? Even on the 30-minute, there is nothing. Nothing on the 30-minute except for maybe this supply here, but we've already broke above it. Yeah, we'll have to wait structure to form at least on the 30-minute to see some sort of close below 2900 if you're coming down. Okay, all right, so there is no supply right now, so let's just get rid of all of that. Let's go down to the 15-minute very quickly. Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, it's a doji on the 1 hour. Yeah, if there was a strong bearish candle here, then I would have considered drawing maybe a 30-minute supply zone, but there is nothing. It's a very weak doji-like candle. So there is nothing. Right now, there is nothing on the, there is no supply at all. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so on the 1 hour, we have this. This is also 1 hour. And below that is this 4-hour zone. Okay, we've covered about 550 pips to the downside. Okay, so the next step after supply demand zones are drawn is to identify high liquidity zones. Out of those zones, which ones are high liquidity zones and which ones are not. So now we've drawn 4 new zones, right? So we're going to take a look at these zones. Okay, so this one is a high liquidity zone because it's broken an opposing supply zone, right? It's taken out an opposing supply zone. So I'm going to mark this as a high liquidity zone. This one here also has taken out that high. All right, so same move up, so I'm going to mark it as a high liquidity zone. This one hasn't taken out anything to the left. There is nothing to take out here. Let's look at on the 30-minute. No, there is nothing here, so this is not a high liquidity zone. Yeah, it hasn't taken out anything. Okay, the one above though, we created this support here, 30-minute support and a 30-minute supply zone, and we took out this high here. So there was a rally base and a kind of a drop. It will be clearer on the 15-minute. There you go. That's a rally and that's a drop. And this move that started at 2900 took out that high right there, right? We pushed up and took out. So this zone took out that 15-minute or 30-minute supply. So this is a high liquidity zone, right? And that's it. Just clean up the chart a bit. Okay. Okay. Now, the next is there a high liquidity candle in any one of those zones, right? So let's start here, the one closest to current price. And how I do that is I look at start on the 1 hour. We have a wick here. So I'm going to pay attention whenever we have a wick, that's a liquidity grab. I'm going to mark that wick out. 37. Yeah. Okay, go down to the 30 minutes. Nothing on the 30 except for this candle here. That's a 45 pip candle. Okay. On the 15-minute, it's nothing. The 5-minute. It's nothing. 24, 20, 30, 30. This one right here. 30 pips. 30. Also 30. Now I'm just going to mark this 30-minute candle. That's it. Yeah. Less confusion. It's a doji though. 266824. Yeah. Yeah. So that covers that wick, which is fine. Okay. Um, it's a 30-minute candle. It's almost a doji, but it is kind of a bullish doji with a big wick at the bottom and a tail at the bottom. So here I don't see anything here. Um, On the 1 hour, there's just maybe this wick here. It's a 33 pivot wick. Let's look at that. 15-minute. Yeah, except for maybe this candle right here. 55 pips. Yeah. Yeah, this one right here. 665,117. Okay. Then here is the next area. Yeah, that's the next area. There is nothing there except for this candle. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, that candle right there. Maybe mark that candle out. That's the only candle there. Maybe this one. 34, 32. Yeah, this one right here. 961, 621. 621. Okay. And then beyond that is this area. The largest candle there is this 220 pip candle. Just mark it for now. Smaller. This is the NY open. We're going to wait for 15 minutes at least. I always wait for at least 15 minutes of the NY open to start looking for setup. So we've got time. Let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, it's that candle right there. 152 pips. 189 pips. Let's go down to the 15-minute. 107, 90, 93, 73. Let's go to the 5-minute. 73, 82, 54, 55, 81. Yeah, that would be the candle. That would be the candle. These large areas usually have two liquidity candles because it's a very large area. It's a 200 and almost 235 pip area. and sometimes they have two, like it's a 106 pip candle, and that's a 95 pip candle. Yeah, I'm going to keep this as a liquidity candle. We're going to take a look at this maybe later, maybe tomorrow, because this is very far from current price. 301,481. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's very far from current price. I don't think we're going to come there today. We'll take a look at that zone tomorrow again, spend more time on it. It's a very large zone. We have to see if there is a one liquidity candle in this zone, this 4-hour zone, if there are, or if there is a couple of them. Okay, but there is no need to worry about that today. Okay, so now we wait at these areas, right? That's all I do. So now that I've drawn these, I have a roadmap, right? All this means is if price is to head higher, it's going to grab liquidity from either liquidity candle or 2900 and head higher. If there isn't this chart, right? These are the areas of liquidity that I believe price will all come to. There may be more. I'm not here to debate that, but these are the 5 areas that I have identified. I've been trading like this for many, many years, right? Close to 10 years. Um, so if price grabs enough liquidity, if it has enough liquidity at the liquidity candle or at 2900, then it'll head higher. If it doesn't, it'll come to the next liquidity candle. If there isn't enough liquidity there for price to head higher, it'll come to the EMA, right? If there isn't enough liquidity in that, then it'll come to the next level, and so on and so on. Once it finds enough liquidity, it'll go in the opposite direction, right? That's all what price does every day. All right, so we've already moved 522 pips. We've still got about what, about 9 minutes. We got to wait for the 50-minute candle to close, so we have plenty of time. Let's look at the Asian session. Just give me a second. I'll be back in maybe a minute, and then we'll take a look at what price did during the Asian session, London session, and then we can have a better idea or take a calculated guess of what price might do in the first couple of hours of the New York session. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay. All right. So the market opened here. That's the market open right there. We went up. So the market opened at 2856.80, right? That's the daily candle open right here. Then we came down here. Slow 575. Okay, and then Asian. 662. So 629. Okay, right. So here's what happened. The market opened here. We pushed up. We pushed back down towards the EMAs. We created the Asian low, went up, wicked up above those candles, created the Asian high. So in the Asian session, we moved about 100 pips. Then in between the sessions, we moved quite a bit, which is very important, 140 pips, 145 pips. And then in the London session, we moved 150 pips. So 100 pips in the Asian session, 150 pips in the London session, right? Now, so what price did is it closed above here. We closed above the Asian high, came retested a couple of times, pushed straight through, right? Uh, Came here, created the London low. Yeah, created the London low, pushed past to 900 eventually, closed, tried to get higher, couldn't, closed bearish, came down, grabbed liquidity again from 900 and came back up, tested the London high, closed above the London high and immediately closed below the London high again. So it's very likely now that we push down. We push down. It's very likely that we push down. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. What are we doing? Yeah, we're forming resistance right here. Now, on the 30-minute, we got a 3 minutes. Okay. I'm going to do this on the 30-minute. 701, 453, 453. Close 453. Okay. Right. Yeah. 15-minute. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, let's see if we can. Yeah, I like to see price push down. Very likely we'll push down, but because we've rejected we tested the London high, we're close below, we closed back again below, we're trying to push down. Let's look at this. This is 1415. Yeah. I'm going to take a sell here. It's going to take a sell here. Let's see. Have we created? Yeah, I'm going to take a sell here. Let's take a sell here. If you go above this high, obviously sells are invalid. But yeah, this high is 701. So if you get above 701, then obviously the sells are invalid. Okay. This low is 273. 273, yeah. Yeah, so above that, obviously, the sells are invalid. I'm anticipating price to push back here. It's about a 50, about a 20 pip stop loss for about a 50 or 70 pip move with a 20 pip stop loss. Let's see if we can get to 289, 2899 or 2898, right? The idea is that it's a very risky trade. Very, very risky trade because it's a counter trend trade in a very strong trend. That's why I'm risking a very small position. I'm taking a very tight stop loss. It's just a 17 pip stop loss, right? It's very tight. If it goes above that, obviously the trade is invalid, right? So 2907, 2907. Okay, that's, yeah, let's see. If you go above 2907, then obviously trade is invalid. It's a very tight stop loss, 17 pip stop loss. Seems like we're going above. Yeah, we're going to close these trades. Yeah, closed a couple of positions. Not comfortable with it. So wait for better M30 resistance to form, maybe. I just got a 17 pip stop. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So I closed it less than 17 pips, in fact, because price pulled back. I closed it less than 17 pips. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That was a try because now we've broken above the London high again. So obviously the trade idea is invalid. It was, again, the trade idea was because price had tested the London high, rejected, closed below a couple of times. So maybe sells from here with a very tight stop loss, so 15 to 17 pip stop loss for price to push back down here further, but it didn't. Okay, we're heading higher. Um, yeah, I want to see a 15-minute candle close above. this London high, and then the pullback to head up. We wait because in 10 minutes the 15-minute candle will close, also the 30-minute candle will close and will form support because we've tapped into this liquidity candle. This candle that we drew here, this candle here, we've tapped into it, right, on the 15-minute. We tapped into it, we grab liquidity, and we're pushing up. So wait for the 15-minute, for the 30-minute candle to close. That will also be the close of the 15-minute candle. And if the candle closes above the London high, that is more confirmation that we're heading higher. Right? Where are we heading to? I don't know because there's no price action to the left. All we can assume is that we're heading higher to 2950. Obviously, I don't think we're not going to reach that today. I don't know. Maybe we don't. We've already moved 560 pips, so it's unlikely that we're heading another 400 pips high today. But we are heading higher. All right. Maybe 2930. Maybe 2930. Right around there. Maybe another 200 pips up. That's possible. 2930. But we're going to wait. We'll wait for the candle to close. Always wait for the candle to close. Again, the reason I took this sells here, it was a very risky sell. I said it right at the beginning, is because we rejected the London high and we closed below 30-minute, 2 30-minute candles closed below. Uh, Also 1 hour candle. So those 30-minute candles means a 1 hour candle rejected and closed below. So I was anticipating price maybe could push down, head down further to this liquidity candle maybe. That would have been a 60 pip move down or 60, 70 pips because I entered here about 70, even more, maybe well, 100 pip move I was expecting down, but it was not to be, right? We're very bullish. So we're going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close and also the 30-minute for this candle to close. 8 minutes more and we'll know what happens. I want to see if a candle closes above and the next candle immediately closes back in, then we close, then the sell idea is valid again, right? Because then that means we've closed above, there isn't enough liquidity to head higher, and then a 30-minute candle closes back below the London high. That means we're heading down. That's better confirmation to take a trade coming down, right? This was one idea, didn't play out. So we're going to see what happens after this candle closes. If the candle closes above, if the 15-minute candle closes above the London high and the 30-minute candle also closes above the London high, that's more confirmation the price is heading higher, right? We've created a new high. Price is probably going to come back for a retest, pull back a bit, and then go retest the new high and continue higher, right? That's the idea for the buys. The ideas for the sells that I want to see is for the 30-minute candle to close above, and then for the next 30-minute to close back inside the London high, inside the zone or below the London high. That is confirmation for sells coming down. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, if, yeah, if the 15-minute candle, now I said two scenarios, right? For buys, let me repeat that again. If the 15-minute candle closes above this, that means the 30-minute candle is also closing above the London high. If we close above this line, above this high here, above this pink line, right? If the 15-minute closes above it, that means the 30-minute candle is also closing above it. That means we have confirmation that it's very likely price could head higher, right? So wait for the retracement and take the trade. And the reason for that is prices come, grab liquidity from the liquidity candle that we had marked before the NY session started. Prices grab liquidity, and it's likely that we're heading higher. Where are we heading to? We don't know because there is no price action to the left. So I'll need to draw my fib and see where price could head to, right? That's the buy idea. Now, for that buy idea to not work, this 15-minute candle has to close inside this again. So now if we close like this, in the next 4.5 minutes, if the candle closes inside this, without above, if it closes below, that means the buys are not in play because it has to close above the London high to confirm that we're heading higher. So if it closes below here, the buys are not in play, right? Keep that in mind. So it has to close above for us to go. If it closes below, buys are not in play. For sells, what I'd like to see is two things can happen for sells. Either the 15-minute candle closes bearish like this, because we've already formed M30 resistance. We formed M30 resistance here. You can see the indicator has shown it too. So if the 15-minute candle closes below this, a bearish candle, then it's likely that we're heading down, right? It tried several times to close above. It couldn't. Now we're during high volume time. It does it again. This is the New York, this is the NY Open. It does it again. That means it's very likely that we're heading down. We're heading through this liquidity candle, right? We've come once into it. We've grabbed 14 pips of it. It's a 43 pip candle. Yeah, we could probably come to 2900 or lower to this liquidity candle, right? We'll have to wait and see, but it's likely that we're heading down. If the 15-minute closes bearish, it's likely that we're heading down, right? But what I would like, what would be better, is if wait for a 30-minute candle close and then take a trade coming down. But I might, if the 15-minute closes bearish like this, I might look for that pullback to take a trade coming down or entry around the London high, around 2906. Entry around 2906, stop loss above that high, so it's about a 45 pip stop loss, 50 pip stop loss. Anticipating price to come down, that's about a 100 pip move down, or probably even further down to the London low. It's about 150 pip move down. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's wait. Gotta wait. Now, again, this is the issue for the cells. We've got 2900. That's a liquidity area. And I always say it's like when you have something like this, it's like uh, you're starting your car and trying to drive it when there's a wall in front of you, right? So this is a key area to 900. It's a liquidity area. Price can always come bounce there and head higher, right? So it'll be better to wait for a candle to close below 2900, a 15-minute candle to close below 2900 to take the sells. That might be better, right? But let's see what happens. 15-minute candle is closing bearish. 50 seconds more. 097242. About 45 pips. Let's see. I might give sells another try here. price to come down to 2892, 2893 from around here, from around 2906. That's one. Let's see if we can get up here. Created a doji there. Two eight nine three, 2894. That's about 80 pips, and then further down, 2892. I'd like to see price pull back here. Now again, okay, so stop loss above this candle, anticipating price to come to 2893, around 2893 or 2892. Yeah, 2893, 2892, even to, yeah, even 2890, 2890, right? That's about 130 pip move down. Let's see if we can get there. Now, how I'm going to manage risk is if a 15-minute candle closes back above the London high, then I'm going to manage risk. Okay. Yeah. And then that'll be it. So this is my second try for the day. I usually give myself maximum of 2 tries a day. And if the second one fails as well, then that's it. There is um, I don't try to push the envelope further. That's it. Then I'm done. Then come back the next day, apply the same rules, same logic, and look for another trade. Right? So the first trade was a very logical trade. It was because we had rejected the London high several times on the 30-minute and on the 1 hour, a couple of times on the 30-minute, couple of times on 30-minute, and once on the 1 hour, right? And then several times on the 15-minute time frame. We're closing bearish. So I had taken a sell with a very tight stop loss, 17 pip stop loss, just above that, and anticipating price to come down. Let's see if we can get to, I'm going to place a pending order right here. This high here, 629, 630. Um, all right, so two entries there, one at um, 290630 and 290670, right, about 5 pips apart, 4 pips apart. Then if you come here higher, I might take another entry. Let's see if we can get there. But I think price is going to come to this London high, retest this London high again. We haven't broken this low yet though. Price needs to break this low. This low needs to be broken. 2901.20. Yeah, 1.20. We need to break this low. Yeah, that's a 30-minute. Yeah, price needs to break this low. Once you break this low, we should be good. But then we've got 2900 there. That's the only issue. Once we close, I think a 15-minute candle closes below 2900, we're good to go. We're good to drop down to 28, around yeah, around 2892, 2893. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close anyway. There's nothing that's going to happen until then. Even if the 15-minute candle should break this, should break 2901.20, and the next one should come back and break this high to grab liquidity to head lower. If price is to head down, okay, this candle should break this low, and the next one should come and break the candle high and then maybe push down if price is to head lower. Also, this candle has no bottom wick, so it's very likely that, yeah, 30-minute also doesn't have a bottom wick. Yeah. The problem is these wicks here. That's what might cause a problem, but let's see. If you have enough volume, bearish volume, it might push down. The Asian and London session has had fairly good volume, so NY session might be a little low. Might. We've had a 100 pip move, 110 pip move in the Asian session, and then I think a 140, 150 pip move in the London session. So we might have a little low volume in NY with NY open, and let's see. And volume might come during NYSE open. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes, 3, 4 minutes. Yeah, if we broke that low, 30-minute candle low, a good sign. Let's see if we can break this candle low. There is no liquidity. We need a close, not just a break below, but we need a 15-minute close, another minute and a half, a minute and 20 seconds. A 15-minute candle closes. I'd like to see I'd like to see a 15-minute candle close below 2900, and then maybe a pop back up to head down. Let's see, 40 seconds more. If the next 15-minute candle closes above here, then I'm closing everything, because that'll be the close of the 30-minute candle plus the 1-hour candle, right? You got to manage risk in a very logical way. If the next 15-minute candle closes bullish back in this zone, this red zone that I've drawn, if we close back inside it, that means the 1-hour candle is closing bullish and the 30-minute candle is closing bullish, and then the 15-minute candle has also closed bullish, right? That's what it means. So if that happens, then there is absolutely no reason to hold sells. Price might still go in my direction, but there is no reason to hold sells, because you got to manage risk. No matter what you do, you got to manage risk. No matter what your trading system it is, no matter what your trading system is, how high the RR of your trading system is, you still have to learn to manage risk to stay profitable in this business or in this game. You got to manage risk. So if the 15-minute candle closes here, that means the 1-hour candle is closing bullish, and the 30-minute candle has closed bullish, and the 15-minute candle time frame has also closed bullish, which means now it's less likely. There's still a probability that price can go down, but it's now less likely that price can go down. So there's no reason to hold. There's no reason to hold sells. Right? Why hold drawdown if price can go up and hit your stop loss? Uh, why get a lose out 60, 70 pips when you can just lose out maybe 30 pips, half of that, right? Okay, so we closed bearish, but we closed right at 2900. So let's see if we can have a pullback, grab liquidity from this wick here, right? So put a price level right there. Broken this, we don't need this anymore. Open is 496. Make that 2905. Right. So if you can grab liquidity above 2905 and then push up. So we're going to look at the lower time frame, so that maybe the 5-minute. See what happens if price comes, breaks this candle high on the 5-minute. Yeah, this high is 424. This high is 575. Yeah, we break this high, and then a 5-minute close, bearish close, would be a rejection of that high to push down. We've now come 29 pips here. This liquidity candle was 44, and we've crossed the 50% mark now. That's great. But for the sells to be for us to have more confidence in ourselves, in myself, I need to see a 15-minute candle close below 2900. I said this before as well. This one didn't. I need to see that 15-minute candle close below 2900, because not one candle has been able to close below, not one candle since then. Here we had a bit of a break and we pushed up, but since then, so this is since the London session, not a single candle has been able to close back below 2900. So in the NY session during high volume time, if we have that, then it's very likely that price is pushing down. But remember that on the higher time frames, on the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, we're bullish. We're very, very bullish on all the high time frames. So this is a risky trade because it's a counter trend trade. That is why I've waited for confirmation. See, on the M30 time frame, we have M30 resistance form, we have a bearish close, we have another doji here. So when we have this candle here, this candle has no information in this candle. At least on the 30-minute time frame, there is no information on this candle because it's a doji. But on the 15-minute candle, we have a strong bearish close below the London high, and the next one came a bit up to grab liquidity and from that candle and push low. I would have liked to see price come a little higher, back to the London high, tap that, and then push down. That would have been better. That is why I have an entry there. I have a pending order at the London high for that very purpose, for that tap and then a close down. I would have liked to see this candle do that. Come back up, tap into that London high, which is a midway point of this candle, the 50% mark roughly of this candle. Come tap that area and then push down. Anyway, today is a Monday. There is no reason to try to force trades today. It's a Monday. We got a big week ahead, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, big 3 days. So reserve your bullets for when it's really needed. Just wait. Be patient. So that is why I'm going to manage risk on this. If we close above here 15 minutes, I'm going to close the trades and then call it a day instantly. I'm not going to be at the charts. I'm going to end the stream, shut down my computer. I'm done. Those are the two opportunities that I give myself. That will be the second opportunity. This would be the second opportunity I gave myself, and that's it. Just 2 tries a day. If the first one is a win, then I don't have another go at it. But if the first one is a loss, then I give it another chance only if I've managed risk. And that's what I did with that first trade. Right? As soon as price started pushing up and I started seeing it was heading up to that high, closed my positions, started closing positions, right? Immediately. So managed risk, lost a very little, a very small percentage of what I'd initially planned to lose. As expected, price is slow because we've had 2 big moves in the Asian session and the London session, right? So NY Open, things are a little slow. We might have to wait for NYSE Open to see if there's volume in NYSE Open. We've had the NY Open candles have been this big 85 pip candle, and then a 41 pip candle. So there is volume. NY Open has shown volume, but we might have to wait for NYSE Open for that volume to really kick in. We're gonna wait and see what happens. But again, no matter what session there is, when I'm in a trade, all I'm thinking of is just one thing: how do I manage risk? How do I follow the same logic based on price action? And how do I manage risk? That's it. That's all I'm thinking of. When I'm in a trade, how do I manage risk? So again, 15-minute candle closes inside this zone. That'll be the close of the 30-minute candle and also the 1 hour candle. That means we're closing bullish on all 3 time frames. And there is no reason, obviously, to hold sells, right? There's absolutely no reason to hold sells. It seems like we're coming up. We're testing to 900 and we're trying to push up. Now, for buys, if here's the buy idea, because I might end the stream a little early today. It's just a Monday. Been here already almost an hour and a half. I might end the stream a little early. I might not wait for 2 hours. The idea, the buy idea. Here's the buy idea. If the 30-minute candle closes bullish back here, then we've formed support again. This is a doji, so you got to ignore this 30-minute candle. This candle has no information in it, right? No usable information in this candle because it's a doji. So if this candle closes a bullish candle here, then you consider this candle and this candle. So you have a bear candle and then you have a bull candle close, right? Back in this zone. Then that's confirmed that M30 support has formed, right? And we've grabbed liquidity from 2900, also from the liquidity candle that we marked here, right? That means it's very likely that price is heading up again. It's bullish, right? So for those who want to buy, maybe wait for the next candle, 30-minute candle to retrace a bit and buy. Stop loss, safer stop loss would be underneath this candle, underneath the liquidity candle. This is the liquidity candle that we identified. So underneath this low, which is 2898, around 2898 under this candle, and look for price to head higher, right? Maybe to this high first and then to around maybe 2925 or 2930, right? 2930 would be about, yeah, another 100 and 200 pips away, roughly about 200 pips away, right? But there is no price action on the left to know exactly where price is going to stop. So you would have to close partial positions as price goes or trail your stops, right? Under the M30 candle low, under each M30 candle low, trail your stop. That's one way of doing it. But wait for this candle to close. Now it seems like got 4 minutes. It seems like it is closing back inside. If it does, I'm closing my sells, and then that would be the opportunity to look for buys. I might take another buy because I'll be managing risk quite well. Let's see. I haven't decided, or I might just call it a day, right? So that's it. It's just a buy idea. There are no sell ideas. I'm not giving any sell ideas because we're very bullish, right? This is the sell idea, the one that I'm taking, the one that I gave I gave my trade a second chance. That's the sell idea. If that doesn't work out, I'm not looking for any more sells. I'm not giving out any more sell ideas. If the candle closes back here and forms M30 support, that'll also mean that we've formed 1 hour support and M30 support, right? And we've also closed a 15-minute bull candle back in this zone. Then buys are in play, sells are no longer in play. At least for me, sells are no longer in play. So you can either look for buys or you can do nothing and just wait it out today and look for come back tomorrow when there is better price action and look for a trade, right? Because right now we're ranging, there's nothing happening, right? We're just ranging. So currently the sells that I'm in is the sell idea. If the 30-minute candle, which closes in about 2.5 minutes, if it closes here, then the sells are, I'm going to close all my sells, and then we've formed clear 30-minute support, and also the 1 hour, we have a 1 hour bullish candle that is closed inside the zone, so it's very likely that we head higher. And the other reason for that is that means prices grab liquidity from here. We've created a long bottom wick, and the candle has closed up here. Now that has to happen. The 30-minute candle has to close back here. If it closes here, then it's very likely that we've created a very large wick, about a 30-35 pip wick from 2900, and we are likely to push higher. But the candle has to close here for that to happen. The 30-minute candle has to close here. If it doesn't, then the sells are still in play. Okay, as simple as that. A minute, about just under 2 minutes for the candle to close. Let's wait and see. Yeah, so I'm going to end the stream maybe in a couple of minutes at the close of this 30-minute candle. Yeah, just another minute more. I'm going to end the stream. I've given out a buy idea, no sell setups, but I've given out a buy setup, right? So again, see how it will play out in the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours to 2 hours. See if that buy idea will play out. The sell idea is the one that I'm already in, so no more. I'm not giving out any sell ideas, but I've given out a clear buy setup, right? Your stop loss, I've said where the stop loss would be. Stop loss would be under the liquidity candle, and then your entries would be on the 30-minute when the 30-minute candle pulls back. For that, the 30-minute candle has to close here. If it doesn't close here, then the sells are still in place, and it doesn't seem like the 30-minute candle is closing up here. We're closing bearish, so the sells are still in place, in play. Okay. All right. That's the end of the session. It's a little shorter than usual because it's just a Monday. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll have a longer session. But we are forming M15 support here, but still there is nothing. There is no. If the 15-minute candle had closed here, then I would have closed straight. Now again, same rules, same risk management logic. If the 15-minute candle closes here, bullish, I'm going to close my trades. That means we've formed support, we're rejecting 2900 and we're coming back high. So I'm not going to be in drawdown, right? But that doesn't mean that there are any sells, and that doesn't mean there are buy ideas now, because I want to see 30 minutes support form to take buys. 30 minutes support needs to form. So we don't have 30 minutes support because we're ranging. The reason for that is we're ranging. So see, since it's on 30 minutes, let's look at the 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the last 4 hours, we've been ranging. So that is why it's better to wait for 30-minute support to form to look for buys, right? Okay. So if you want to take buys, wait for 30-minute support to form. Don't take buys unless happens. We've broken the low. I did probably heading low. All right, that'll be the end of the stream. Be back tomorrow, same time, 7:30 a.m. EST, and we'll draw zones and look for trade setups, if any, right? I'm still holding my sells, anticipating price to drop to 2892, 2893, around that area, right? And if it does get there, that's about a 100 pip move, or 120 pip move if it gets there. All right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care.